Hello and welcome to Roguelike Dolls. We are playing City Skylines once again, and here's our little town. We have a 4-star logging area, we have lots of power, and we have a university that's just starting out. And in this episode, we're probably going to develop this part of the river, as well as maybe get a development going over here, and then start spreading up this way as well. Can we afford another square? Yeah, we could get this square if we want. I don't know why or why not we wouldn't just get this square. I definitely think we could just get it. So we will. It's where we want to go eventually. We want to get 2 cities going. A tale of 2 cities. One on this side of the road and one going over here. So before we get embroiled in whatever we're doing today, what do we want to do? First off, we had a suggestion for the name of the city. Or maybe the suggestion was for a zone. I couldn't really tell from the comment. But we're going to call it Brookview. Does Brook have an E? What did the comments say? Let me look at it one more time. The comment said Brookview without an E. Excellent. Our city attractiveness is low. That's just a function of tourism. So I guess we could probably put some tourist destinations over here. We could get a park or a plaza going somewhere. I don't know where the best place for a park would be at this point. This is maybe an opportunity for a park development because we haven't touched it yet. That could be real nice up there. Likewise, we could put a park in the middle of this area over here, which could be fun, or maybe a park here. Although it might make more sense to continue the university over here because we are going to have some more university buildings up and coming. So let's just look. Our healthcare is really good right now. Our elder care is pretty okay, and we have good life expectancy. Our child healthcare is decent. Our cemetery usage is getting high, but our crematorium availability is very good. Let's see, our saunas are just go under normal healthcare. Let's look at our fire. Our hazard is high. Where is our hazard concentrated? In these areas. So easy fix. Let's get a firehouse. That greatly improved things. I guess that was a fire station, but still I think it was merited for the zone, which we found it. For sure. You know, let's, it will increase traffic there, so maybe we'll avoid that, but let's put one there. And that should help this zone with fire and get our fire hazard down a little bit. There's also a little bit of a fire concern over here, so let's take care of that as well. Little bit of fire concern over here, so let's take care of that as well. And then this is a landfill site that is now empty, and we're just going to destroy it. And in its place, we're gonna put, I guess we don't need a firehouse there. We'll think about what we want to put there. We have a little bit of demand for everything. Let's take a quick look at power. We have incredible production versus our consumption, so we're not worried about that for now. Our sewage treatment could use a tiny bit of work. Freshwater outlet. We want advanced inland water treatment facility. That's the dream. Currently we're on eco inland water treatment facilities, and that's just less good. So we're gonna pause the game for a second because we're gonna get rid of all of our eco facilities and replace them with advanced facilities. I know we spent a lot of money on this, but water is just something you need to have. Alright, we could put it on that side of the road. What I'm thinking is it's okay to have kind of a bespoke area for this use. So we can get rid of some of the buildings that are currently there and figure out how we want to do this. I'm thinking one line here. And those are hooking up nicely to existing water systems. And then we'll have one line here, and we'll need a new water line. And I don't think these generate like a ridiculous amount of traffic, but we'll keep an eye on that. Boop, 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 boop. Sick. We'll unpause our game and see where... Alright, and our sewage treatment's in a much better place. We just were never going to be able to scale enough facilities with the strategy that we had before. Alright, our garbage processing status is amazing now. We switched to waste transfer facilities, so I think as long as we continually just expand our waste transfer facilities as we build up this area, I think we're going to be in a really good position garbage-wise. So with that, let's take a look at some of our academic stuff. We are still unrecognized. And let's give some cinematography funding. We just need to grow our student base, and I think one problem that we have maybe is, well, our attractiveness is pretty high. It might just be an issue of time. And we might also not have the sports facilities that we really want to make this zone, like, nice. So, let's see, varsity sports, university campus area. We have a university administration building. We might need some sports. So let's start with... what do we like? I think maybe basketball would make sense. And I'm thinking about where we can put this. Oh, that's kind of a cool spot for it. Let's get it as close to the river as we can. Alright. And then let's also... How big is a track and field stadium? Pretty big. So we might get this, like, over here. So let's think about how our roads to that place will work. A little too close. And then we want a curve or a freeform road tool. We just want a little bit of extra curve here. So we'll take this road pretty close to the highway, but we're okay with that. Like in general, this area isn't going to be zoned for a lot of things like housing. So we're just not that broken up if it is loud, which it's going to be very loud by the highway, but that's fine. This is a little goofy, but I don't mind it that much. See if we can get a little bit straighter of a connection, and we'll use the kind of road that we actually want. That would help. But overall, I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. Alright, so baseball or track and field? Entertainment, 150. Entertainment. Let's get a baseball. Might be hard to fit two things in here, so if any of these things would fit in a pair of two, we'll definitely want to prioritize that. Let's see if we can somehow squeeze a second one of these in here. We might be able to squeeze a second one of these in here if we get rid of the road. Or like get rid of the road on that side. So we might do that. And like short term, I think these could be problematic in terms of like traffic. But long term, I don't think it's going to matter as much because we're going to have more crossings to get to an area over here, and we could get a crossing coming from the university, and we could get some pedestrian traffic along that. So I think it might work out eventually. An aquatic center would also be kind of neat, but let's focus on getting these hooked up to water and power. Because we will need that for sure. Power, we can just make a line that spans the highway and then comes up over here. We'll be able to delete that eventually. And let's zone this for some commercial uses along these roads. Right up next to the highway. Excellent, excellent. They might have some trouble with, well, we might also want... What other kind of specializations can we have? No office specialization, IT cluster, leisure specialization. Ooh, all right. We could put a leisure specialization. So want to paint district, I think, right here. And in fact, let's paint this whole thing in as well as some of this. And this whole area is going to be a leisure district. Excellent. District specialization, leisure. Okay. So now I think our zoning for our commercial uses in this area will become like focused on leisure uses. So if we click on this, buy it all shop, it got sold because we switched to leisure. Default style. Let's do modern city center. Policies. You know, we could do all kinds of policies. Reduce mail accumulation. Interesting. Book fair. Wow, there's so many policies. I don't know how to think about those policies yet, so I'm not gonna. Let's see. We could get a couple of offices here. That could be an interesting place to have an office. And then otherwise, I think we just want lots of commercial zoning by these fitness facilities. Okay. I don't know if that will help with the university at all. We'll see. What else? What else? What else? We do have some areas that we just neglected to zone around here. I don't want to say neglected, it's just we had to think about the zoning that we could put in these areas without causing significant, you know, traffic or noise problems. And I think we kind of made the right choice, and I'm sort of inclined to leave them blank just because it's useful to have, you know, blank areas in case we do need to plop down something large. Can get that going. There is some utilization we could increase over here, but I'm kind of saving that for city services that we may need at some point that could pop up that we're just not anticipating. So no rush there. What I would like to start thinking about is this side of the river, which I think should start by extending this street down to as close to that as we can get. And then the second part of this is going to be, we're going to make one little block off of this. It's going to be, well, it's actually going to be a big block. And the point of this is we want some space to put large buildings and unique buildings. So I don't think the winter market is exactly what we're looking for. We're more looking for, let's see, how big is a festival area? Like a festival area on the river could be very cool. I don't want to disrupt this rock though, if I can. So maybe we'll put the festival area here. Fan zone park. People who do not fit in the festival area or prefer to follow the concert. Increases the success chance of all concerts by 5%. We'll put that next to this, sure. That will be a really cool area by the river. What else can we have? Statue of Wealth. Statue of Shopping. Just literal shrines to greed, I guess. What do we got? I think we have some unique buildings we can put down as well. Expo Center would be really cool on the river. So when you kind of emerge from the Expo Center, you get a great view of the river, and then we'll plop down a high interest tower here as well. Do we have any other unique buildings we can get? Stadium could be very fun and exciting. It's very noisy, so we're going to think about our uses on this side of the river. You know, in terms of like how much noise we can get away with. Resort hotel, downtown hotel. I think having a big hotel down by some of these things would be really good. Maybe not by the tower, but certainly by the Expo Center, we would want a hotel. We would want... Do we have other hotel types? Temple. We're still unrecognized. High-rise office building. Okay, we could put a high-rise office building somewhere. What other things do we have? Station department store. I think maybe we want a office skyscraper. We want a high-rise office building on the river. I don't know if we want it next to the festival ground, though. We just have so many options. What's this? Eddie Cavango. Covanago. Okay. Big building. Another big building. The Majesty. Electric car factory. That's very cool. Nanotechnology center. That seems dangerous. Wow, there's like a million cool things that we can put in our city. I don't really know where I want to put them. And I don't know about some of these uses. I definitely want some of these big buildings. So what we're going to do here is Get some trees. This isn't going to be the most sensically laid out district of all of our districts. We're kind of going to let the places where our major buildings go determine where our cross streets are. So, you know, not the most strict grid like our other gridded areas, but I think that will be fine. And I think because we're packing so much like kind of interesting, unique buildings into such a dense zone, we gotta be, you know, you gotta break up your grid a little bit to get this type of density going. And why not a big shopping center as well? And then we have to think about all the normal things that we would want. Like, I think a hospital would be a really good idea. A crematorium, never a bad idea. Why not? Elder care would be, it would be a little bit noisy to have elder care in this zone. But we could certainly put elder care on that side of the river. I don't know about any of that. A fire station would be real nice. Keep our area from burning down. I don't know if we need a park or anything. A police headquarters would be a good idea. We don't have very good coverage. While we're waiting for some extra money to build up, because we just spent like a solid $1 million developing this area, we will get some water and we will start zoning and we will add power where needed. And another water main through here. Perfect. And now we will zone a little bit. You know, a lot of our uses are going to be tough over here because we don't have, well, we have so much noise. So if we look at our noise, we're going to be able to quickly see. So here's our noise. All right, so these are loud things, but I think we can sneak a little bit of residential here, which will really help with our commercial uses in this zone. And we can also put in some trees and landscaping, which should help break up a little bit of the noisiness of this area. So let's start zoning with a little bit of office zone along here. This will act as our noise barrier for the highway. Hi, Stanley. Hi. How are you? I didn't mean to zone right here, but that's okay. Yeah, our offices are not going to be so susceptible to highway noise, which we like. We'll put some high density commercial here, which I'm hoping they do get enough customers. And then we're going to paint 2 districts. And the first one is going to be, so District 1 is going to be along the river. And this is going to be an entertainment district. And then District 2 is going to be back here. And this is going to be a tourism district. So we need some, let's put low density commercial along the river. And why I think that's a good idea is so that we don't block the view of the other side of the city from this side of the city. So it'll be more like low density and then high density, and that will give our second ring of more high density commercial uses some, you know, some view of the river. Let's get an office zone going. And then we're just gonna need to put some residential down, and we will see how the sound affects these uses. And controversial, and it's sort of experimental for me, but let's put some residential along this 4-lane, and let's put some residential here. It's a little noisy to put it right up against there, so we won't, but we'll try some of that. And we'll also do some along this area. And maybe, what building is this? The Majesty. It's a little noisy, but we might be able to get away with some more residential. At the very least, I think we can get away with a pocket of residential there, and then we'll fill the rest with high density commercial. And then we'll go to our districts, and we'll go to our commercial specializations, and we'll say that this is tourism and this is entertainment. And we'll see how this develops. We'll see if there's medical problems for our citizens. I guess with, you know, since we did zone for some residential over here, we may want to add, you know, an elementary school. We could add a high school. We could add a little university. We could even have a public library. Like, this is a tourism zone, but people do live here, so I don't know. It seems like a good thing to do. I'm not loving the way that this is. It's kind of like wide if we look across our city. It's very wide and tall, but it will look less weird when we got some stuff building up here. We do have some abandoned stuff here. I'm not sure why. Is it a water issue? Is it a power issue? Are you a water issue? Do we have a little pocket of no water? All right, we do have enough water availability though, at the very least, so that's not the problem. We'll come back to this. Students 135. We might just not have good access. Fan club support, sure. Academic works. Varsity sports, let's do ticket price, drop it down. Let's raise our budget. Coaching staff. Let me know what you think the team color should be. I'm inclined to make it something horrible, but if you want something less horrible, you gotta let me know. And do we want to be the alligators? Chirpers. Team of posters. Team of virgins. Eagles. We're the Twitter team. Okay. That seems good. What if we put a park on our, or like a plaza on our campus? Would that make people happy? Other parks, basketball court, plazas, plaza with picnic tables. Let's try a plaza with picnic tables. Is there somewhere we could fit this? Yeah. And, you know, it might help to have some low density housing in this area. Because students could live there, and we could also get a little bit of commercial. Could have a block of high density housing. Just like a little bit. Like along here, maybe. And that could help get people who need to live closer to the university living closer to the university. We'll see how that goes. We're still unrecognized. We lost 6 students somehow. We'll find out. I think we're growing again. Totally unclear. Are we having a death wave? Why? There's a dead person is waiting for transport. All right. I don't know why we just had a death wave. Let's think about our crematoriums, though. Our crematorium availability is low, so let's get a couple of those going right away. No delay on crematoriums for sure. That's a huge emergency. We cannot have corpses piling up in our city. That's extremely bad. Let's get a crematorium, another crematorium over there. Let's get one over here. We don't have enough money. All right. Hopefully our budget problem resolves soon, because we are just absolutely hemorrhaging money. I'm thinking as the death wave stops, we will bail out. We'll accept. Let's look at our budget panel once. I think we're moving in the right direction in terms of our budget, but let's lower our power budget by a bit. And that should help a lot. I think our power grid is like, we can't do that. Never mind. That will greatly affect our profitability. Turn that back up. All right, but we are in the green again. I think it was just that death wave that got ahead of us that kind of hurt us a little bit. And plus all these new buildings have extremely high maintenance and they haven't developed into a meaningful economic zone yet. But they're working on it. We might want to put one of these large buildings on this side of the road. Not to get too ahead of ourselves, but it could be nice. A local registrar's office could be a good thing. It's not going to make people the most happy. But I think it will be nice. Why not get a ramen restaurant? That's what the city needs. Oh yeah, now they're well served by ramen. You can see. What if we put our building already exists. We can only have one ramen restaurant, but we can get a noodle restaurant here. And that will greatly satiate people's need for noodles. What else do we want? Drive-in restaurant? Sure. That'll be cutesy. All right. People are much happier with their dining choices. Let's continue on that. Let's put a service station and restaurant somewhere in this zone. I think we have some unutilized land here. It's be a little tricky, but I think people will like that quite a bit. See, road tolls, bridges, and piers. All right, so this is where our bridges live. We might think about replacing some of our current bridge. 2-lane stone bridge, 4-lane European stone bridge. What's this one? 4-lane American Truss, 2-lane American Truss. Let's try some 4-lane American Truss bridges, and we're gonna replace some of these to see if we can get more attractive bridges in our city. That'll be nice. And then for the 2-lane ones, let's go for 2-lane American Truss Bridge. Perfect. Our budget situation is still very bad. I don't know what we did. Probably just expanded city services like a ridiculous amount, which caused our budget to sort of balloon. So one thing that we can do to help rectify this is add some more high density residential zoning. And we can add some more of that here as well. Sort of an emergency measure to get this moving in the right direction. It's gonna make people sick if we do that here. So one thing we might do is just de-zone these commercial uses now, or these industrial uses. I think this part of the city has matured beyond the need for those industrial uses in this zone. All right, and we'll put some high density residential there. Let's get some high density commercial here. And a little bit of high density commercial here. And then let's do a high density residential all along the river. Which definitely not ideal to have that much like traffic along here, but I think a lot of our trucks are going to be taking this 6-lane road back here. Why are you having power problems? Did I disconnect you from the grid? Do you just not have enough electricity availability? Is the grid just too weak back here? We get another connection up. Do you feel better? Yes. Oh, this whole thing was just kind of disconnected from the grid and it was relying on our this plant back here. So that will also help with our budget a little bit because now we're not going to be losing these buildings. Okay. Let's put a park here. So we're gonna paint park area. Get this going. We're just gonna put a park right up against this commercial zone. Or this industrial zone. Wonderful. Cypress garden. Beautiful. And then is there a park? No, we probably just need this. So one thing we'll need to do is put a park main gate here. All right, no, I want you to be inside of this park. So we might have to go paint park. We're gonna have to delete this because we accidentally didn't place it inside of the park. So let's try again. Park main gate. I want to before we get too far ahead of ourselves. All right, perfect. Park this road, but we want it like right up against the road so that we can get our main gate in there. All right, here we go. We are going to park area info and we are going to turn this down to 0. And then what do we want in this park? I think we need some pedestrian paths, which we're going to use park path with decorations, and we're going to just go up. And maybe we'll just have a loop. It'll be kind of square, but we'll add some amenities to this park as well. We are, once again, deeply in debt but I think things are still kind of filling out over here. What do you need? What do you need? Not enough customers. You know what? We need some different things. We can't quite get an airport, but maybe we can place a blimp depot. And this is wild, but I think it might work. So blimp stop. And now we're gonna get some blimp stops in the city. So we just need a few blimp stops so that we can get blimp customers from over here. All right, yeah, that's a little noisy, but you're gonna like it. And then we'll add another blimp stop over here, which will make people mad, but it will be nice to be able to get to the blimp. I just want to connect this up to the grid. And then does this have water? It does. That will help a little bit. And my other idea, wow, our money went way up. I wonder why that is. I wonder if we're having like rolling blackouts at night or something. One other thing that we can try doing to help get customers into this area would be, we want ship and we want a harbor. So this needs a roadside connection. It's very loud. And we need the road to be a little bit closer. So let's deal with that. We're still unrecognized. We might need to end some of these university policies that are very expensive, and I'm just not sure if they're helping us. All right, so we want harbor. Cannot connect to route. Oh, is our problem that we just like are closed in by bridges, so we're not allowed to have this? I'll look into how to place this at some point. And we disconnected one of our main roads. How did we disconnect it? Oh, we don't have a road here anymore. All right, that's fine. That's totally okay. Yeah, let's keep putting amenities in this park. So other things we want in the park is probably a park plaza. So let's keep building some sidewalks. We're gonna want to bisect the park like this. I don't think we necessarily want like a hyper gridded park, but I'm not going to be too picky for now. We just want to keep moving and having a good time in the park. We could build a park fence, but technically this is like a free park, so I'm not like critically worried about, you know, our park situation. We're going to get a couple of restrooms right by the entrance. And we already have a cafe. An info booth by the entrance. Info booth by the entrance as well would be, I think, good. We have lots of props. that we can place, like little trash bins. I don't know if they actually have any effect on the park itself or like the quality of the park. What is this? Chessboard. Interesting. Okay. Oh, we could do amusement park. Oh, we're definitely building an amusement park at some point, but that doesn't seem to be the order for this park. Oh, we could put a basketball court in here, could we? No, it has to be on the road. All right. Could we put a playground? You can't have a playground that connects through a pedestrian path. That's a little disappointing. In either case, I think we have enough entertainment, so I think we just have to wait on, you know, our total participation in this park to pick up a little bit. We want some landscaping. And we want some trees. Oh, we also want to connect these to water. And power. Which I really don't want to put a power line through my park. But if that's what it means, I don't think putting a windmill in the park is a great idea either, but let's try it out. I'm not sure if there's consequences for that, because there's like no residential zoning. I personally would go to a park with a windmill. That sounds pretty cool. Let's try it out and see if there's negative externalities of having a windmill in the park. We definitely could be, you know, punished for our negligence here. Where are my like regular park assets? I want like a path of some kind. Here we go. Park path with decorations. Can you hook up there? No? All right, you'll hook up there. It's not like we're gonna have traffic problems in the park. That seems good. A zoo would be a really cool thing to have. We're still making money, not as fast. And I think if we want to make more money, which we definitely do. Ooh, we got Colossal City. We can access a new area. We have helicopters. We have a nuclear power plant, which is gonna be a lot more economical than our like 60 So before we get too far, the first order of business is that we want a floating cafe. This much we already know. Music club could be really fun, but floating cafe is the order of the day. Where is it? Ooh, what are you? Colossal Order Offices. I believe that's the developer of this software. Science Center. Theater of Wonders. I just want, you know, a little floating restaurant. If we find it somewhere here, we're gonna build it for sure. And then another thing that we might want to do is pause. Power. What is the yield on a nuclear facility? 640, and our current production is 1269. So let's start filling in some of these, and I don't want it right next to our water, even though it wouldn't. I'm not like a nuclear scientist or anything, but I think using gray water for the purposes of like nuclear cooling is not the worst idea, right? Like using dirty, untreated water wouldn't necessarily matter as much. Like, I don't necessarily think that your water necessarily has to be super clean for this application. Not that it really plays out that way in the game, but you know, if you're a scientist of some kind of the nuclear variety, you can sound off in the comments. Let me know if my assumptions about you know, nuclear power work or are like totally unfounded. I just don't understand why you would have to have totally clean water for, you know, the types of cooling that you would do in a nuclear power facility. So our grid is now going to be producing like 1 trillion billion million gigawatts of power, and with that we can save some money. Can I turn off the confirmation for these? This will be quite the process. These are only producing 20 megawatts per week. So we want to get rid of like all of them because they're just not as efficient, or we already bought 2 nuclear facilities, so it's like the question kind of becomes, you know, how do we want to manage our power situation? And the answer is almost certainly not using these existing wind turbines. We just want to get rid of all of them. And this will open us up for maybe developing a fishing industry area along the coast. As we delete these, our budget should improve slightly. So we're going to be spending a lot less What did we just knock out? Water to this area. I guess we never put water on this little stretch. Perfect. And we're gonna switch back to power, switch back to demolition, demolish that. I think we can safely demolish the remaining power lines in this section. What are you? Cemetery, no more room. I think we can just leave this. I don't know if we have to empty it. We'll try that. Let's see, we make way less money at night. We dip like severely into the negative. What are these people whining about? Emptying finished. All right. Not enough raw materials at the fine fish stick factory. What do you need? I'm just not sure what he needs at the fish stick factory. Do you need raw materials as well? Are all of my fish stick factories? We still have a landfill? All right. Let's get rid of this landfill. That'll make people happier there. So if we need fish, logic dictates that we should create a fishing industry, right? No problem. I got you. So we're gonna start with a 4-lane American truss bridge and extend to this side of our development. And we don't want to run up against this railroad directly. Let's see. Might go back one. Go back a few. Get a regular 4-lane road. Extend that here. Get it going across here, back up. All right. So we're not going to do anything with this for now, but this is going to be our way across in this zone. And you're a truss bridge. Are you a truss bridge? Let's figure out if you're a truss bridge. Oh, can we get some road maintenance depots? That could be really nice. We probably want a road maintenance depot by our major exports. And we would like one as well. We want good access for it, so we might put it like here. And then we also want good access for this, so maybe we'll put it like here. All right, I think that's good enough for the road maintenance depots for now. Yeah, let's get a 2-lane, 4-lane. Let's try a 4-lane stone bridge over here, actually. That could be pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Some people would tell you that this hill is stupid. I would not. I like it. And in fact, we're gonna have a road that comes right off the hill. Perfect. Now let's go to our transportation. And we want our boats. And we don't want a ferry depot. We might want a cargo harbor. One thing we want for sure, though, is an industry area. Which this whole thing is going to be an industry area, and its specialization is going to be fishing. It's going to span over here into the water. Industry, we want, or no, we want fish. And the first thing we're gonna build, ooh, a fish farm. Gather high yields of fish. All right, so let's get a fish farm. Distance too short, space already occupied, shoreline required. Oh, okay, so these things come with their own road. And then let's get a fishing harbor as well. Maybe a second fishing harbor. And then we'll connect these up with some water. And for posterity, we'll put one of these over here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And now we'll do some connecting. We're still unrecognized and we lost 5 students. I do not know how to develop a university, it turns out. Perfect. Distance too short. This is an interesting set of connections. Power. Gonna need to power these up. Which I think this is a way to do it. For now. We'll probably find a better solution as these become, zoned. Alright, so now we are building our fishing routes. Let's see. So we're going to have a tuna route, I think. Is blue tuna? All right. That's interesting. We're going to have a tuna route in here. Perfect. And then we're going to have a shellfish route through here. Wonderful. So we have 2 of those going. And I think for now, that's most of what we can do with our fishing industry. I think we're going to get some unique factories from this eventually, but not immediately. So then our second thing that we want to do is start getting to a place where we can have, you know, other types of zoning over here, which we're going to do a 4-lane here. And do a free-form 4-lane going this way, but no, going this way, and then curving slightly. We want a more slight curve, and we're gonna build a long-ass road. And then we're gonna build a slightly underground road. Alright. And then we're gonna keep on going over here. And then we're gonna go down to... Wait, where did you end up? I wanted you to be underground. Did that happen? No. Definitely don't want a highway connection there. We want underground. Don't want to pop up on that side. We want to continue underground, and now we want to pop up. We might need to continue underground a little bit more, and now we pop up. All right. And then we'll curve around this way. And you know what? Let's do a tunnel under the river. Ooh, we have achieved a level 5 forestry area. All right, what's going on with this road? Where even are we? Is this our last connection over here? We might want to use our straight tool. And then we'll come up above ground here. All right, perfect. I'm just thinking about how we want this loop to connect up, and because we have the money to be building these roadways, I think we're doing good. You should have water. Why don't you have water? All right, that will help with our fishing industry. Can we do a industrial specialization, farming, or we can't mark this as a fishing industry specialization, or can we? Is there like a main building that we're missing? Fish market, fish factory. All right, let's get a fish market. Or I guess a fish market doesn't have to be next to, directly next to the industry area. So I think we're going to put that over there. Fish factory, sure. I think we could definitely put a fish factory next to our forestry area. See how that goes. That will increase fish traffic here, but I think that's mostly fine. What's your problem? Not enough customers. That makes sense. We have some ways of solving that, and most of them are going to be zoning a bunch of high-density residential over here. Or, I don't know if high-density residential is appropriate. It might make sense to do more low-density residential and then have the downtown up here and then filter down into low densities. So let's do a whole big low-density zone over here. And I think that will help with consumer demand along this 4-lane road, as long as we don't zone too much commercial in a convenient location over here. So we'll start by forming some sort of district. We leveled up our park. I always love to see it. And we'll continue this down. Get some tunnels. I think tunnels are fun. I think this would be a very expensive way to develop this zone, but I think it's a really funny way to do it. So I am, in fact, going to do it. All right. Very hilarious. 10 out of 10. Barrel of laughs. Like and subscribe. Oh yeah. This is gonna be a sick grid, baby. Oh. This is nonsensical. I love it. Get some connections with our 4-lane road. I'm just gonna extend some of these streets so they connect. Perfect. And then we're gonna make sure that these local roads are connecting, especially the ones that don't have tunnels. I think this one doesn't have a tunnel. It's harder to see at night. And then we'll make sure all our north-south connectors are hooking up. We're gonna be adding another north-south connector in a couple of spots. That'll be an interesting intersection for sure. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's sick. So let's set this off straight here and then straight here. And we'll end it here, but we may extend this under the highway. I just want to get a feel for what this is going to be like. And I think the answer is very silly. I don't mind these curves that much. I think they're a little goofy. We're still unrecognized, but we did gain some students. Okay. These are both local roads that we would like to connect up to our existing local road system. We would like to have a few connections here as well. Okay, so we're not too close to the railway here. We have some areas where it would make sense to put some industrial demand or some industrial zoning, including here and some areas in here. We could also extend this grid over here and get a little industrial area going, which I would very much like to do, because the low density housing over here will need some places to work. And we also wouldn't mind having a couple of places to dump like a waste transfer facility or other, you know, noisy, high pollution uses. All right, so that's excellent. We may eventually get a railway over here, but not a priority. Let's think about some of our city services. So, police station, big yes. Fire station, an even bigger yes. And like realistically, we'll need a second fire station. Medical, we'll put a few crematoriums in just to start, because you need a lot of crematoriums. Child healthcare. Well, actually, let's think about child healthcare when we think about our elementary schools. So, Hospital 1, Hospital 2, elder care we can put in right away. Can add some of these like saunas. That will help with people's healthcare needs. We can add a few medical clinics. People need urgent care and stuff. And then first we're gonna add elementary schools. And then we're gonna add child healthcare clinics adjacent to the elementary schools. Just, they don't have to be right on top of each other, but we definitely want them sort of in the same area. And then we want a few playgrounds next to the elementary school. So we'll put those in as well. What kind of parks is it? Plaza with trees. We just kind of want like normal parks. City park. What do we got? My park menu got more confusing. I just want my like regular, park buildings. Here we go. Large playground. All right. That's very good. I think we had another elementary school here. We could get a botanical garden. That'd be nice, for sure. We could get a few small parks. So you can never have too many small parks. And also dog parks. I saw a dog yesterday in real life. I saw 2 dogs. They were great. Dogs are nice. I don't have a dog, but I do like dogs. Fishing island, floating cafe. All right. We do want to add a floating cafe in 2 places. One, I think it'd be really funny to have one on the river. Maybe 2. And maybe one on the other side. Can't quite fit one on the other side, and that's fine. But if we could get one here, that would be really funny. All right. And if we could get one sort of here, we'll think about that. Can't quite. All right, that's a really funny one too. All right. You should not design your city around how funny your inappropriate uses are. But here we are, designing our city based on how funny our inappropriate uses are. Do we have hospitals? Yes. Do we have water? No. Let's get our water all hooked up. When you pre-build all this stuff in sort of Big Bang fashion, before you get any water or power or zoning into your area, you can end up with a kind of a temporary budget crunch. Like, if we had been conscientiously zoning and putting water and power as we went, rather than just, you know, zoning out maximum ridiculous district all up front, our budget, I think we'd have like twice as much income right now. But that's okay. We're not being super careful with these. I just want to do it quick and dirty. Excellent, excellent. We'll connect this up. And we'll connect this up. This. This. One of these. Maybe not. Sometimes it just doesn't like where you're putting a water line, and I don't fully understand its opinions, but you have no choice but to respect them because it won't let you disagree. So you might as well just get on its level. It's in charge here, not you. Okay. And now we can do a little bit of zoning if we wish. All right. Which I think we do wish to do. So first up, let's think about power. How are we going to connect these things to the grid? The answer is by a clumsily placed power line. Why not? Why not hook it up through there? I don't think this should lose power, but we'll see. All right, and then let's get some... We're going to have a little bit of low density commercial in zones around here, but not a ridiculous amount. And then we're going to have mostly low density residential along like this entire area. Might be a little close to the railroad tracks. I actually like living next to railroad tracks. I think it sounds nice and it's relaxing. The home I grew up in as a kid was like, I don't know, it's like less than half a mile away from some railroad tracks. And that was actually, you know, it's really relaxing and good is what I have to say about it. We're gonna draw in some temporary power lines just because this area will be more attractive to live in if our buildings have power, and that will help us develop them faster, I think. We must assume. It will kill some of our zonable area, but we'll be able to go back through here later and kind of cross it out. Plus, people don't actually mind living next to power lines. They're just ugly. But, like, you don't get, like, mechanically penalized for having them in the game. In any capacity, I believe. Alright, these are also disconnected. That'll hook up that. And then we just have to wait for this to kind of get into shape. We can put some garbage services over here, though. We for sure want a recycling center. And we would also like a waste transfer facility. And why not get at least one of these? I don't know what effect it will have, but let's try it. And then we want water and power over here, of course. That wasn't a great water line, but we'll live. Perfect. Nailed it. Absolutely spectacular. Power. Oh, we're still unrecognized, but we're growing. We're growing just fine. Don't you worry about us. You let us worry about that. All right, you're hooked up. We can zone some industrial over here. That's sick. Do we have any sort of natural resources here for different types of industry? We may want to produce either an ore industry. I guess we don't have very much ore. And I think our farmable land is also not very abundant. So we're not going to do that. Do we have oil? No. So I'm not, like, terribly worried about that. We might put a warehouse of a medium nature sort of next to some of these industrial uses. So that can help a lot with industrial development to have places for raw ingredients. I don't know. We could have a large warehouse, but I don't think we especially need it. We're losing people? How is that even possible? You were having water problems? How is that even possible? I guess we could finish up with this. Let's see. Let's get a... On our trains, we want a cargo train terminal. Like... Or is this a highway or a railway? I guess our railway is down here. So let's put a cargo train terminal here. I would really like it to be parallel with the train track. So let's make some roads that kind of mirror the connection that we want to make. And then we can go here, cargo train terminal like this. And then we can make some one-way connections. That might be a little ugly, but we'll see. It's too ugly. This needs to be put on roadside. So we do have to start with the road. And then I think we want it to kind of be like directly parallel and not parallel at all. So cargo train terminal, we're a little close, but there we go. And then we can delete this rail line. All right. We could also, we haven't really looked at our junctions too much. Oh, we didn't put a university over here or anything, so let's think about that as well. Institute of Modern Technology would also be useful. Don't want to knock out any of our power. Yeah, let's do like here. And we also don't have a public library. All right, and let's put another public library down the road. Maybe we can squeeze it in there. Perfect. That's all looking good. Let's zone up all of this for industrial. And let's get some of this going here. I would like, and this could create a horrible traffic situation, or it could create a delicious traffic paradise. Oh, that's such a weird connection. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how people could possibly get off of this road onto there. Let's try that again. Alright, that's more like it. And then we'll use our freeform tool to get a more kind of natural curve going. Alright, and then we want a place for trucks to get back on the highway. Yeah, baby. Look at that on-ramp. That's actually not bad. I'm not mad about that. It's kind of dog shit, but it's not actually that bad. It definitely could be worse. It's like by far the least egregious thing that I've put in this town so far. So, in my opinion, we don't have enough workers over here, but as this low density residential area develops, I think that will fix itself a little bit. Let's look into some of our junctions, because we put down a lot of 4-lane roads, but we didn't thoughtfully create junctions at our 4-lane roads. And we don't need all of these traffic stops. That's just fine. We definitely don't need this traffic stop. That one's good. We do want a stop sign here. We would like a stop sign there. Don't need a stop sign here. Would like a stop sign there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. No stop sign. And then let's do The same thing up here. We should be okay for a long time with this because we don't actually have any junctions. You're fine. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Our budget situation has definitely been better at certain points in the past. Let's look at some of our policies. Recreational use. Increases police budget. Moderately increases tourism. Alright, we could do that. That's pretty good. We could do education boost as well, although that probably wouldn't be great. Fishing license. Increases all residential tax income by 5%. Interesting. Recycling is always good. Water usage? I don't know about that. Tax raise. Tax raise. People might become mad because I think we are absolutely already some of these have such like dramatic effects that I'm afraid to touch them because they're gonna be like, they just like change the way our city generates money in such a dramatic way that they could affect our budget to the order of like tens of thousands of dollars per week. Encourage biking seems fine. Lightning rods. That also seems fine. We don't need faster recovery. Automated toll could be okay. New technologies alter the nature of industrial workforce. All industrial workforces are well and highly educated citizens. Reduces workplaces by 30% per zoned industry. You know what? Industry 4.0 actually sounds nice. And it will resolve some of our low skill workers. We want sustainable fishing. We want dolphin safe. I think. I'm just trying to think. If I'm confident one of these isn't going to immediately bankrupt the cities, I'm totally hitting it. High-tech housing, I think we can actually go for. Just keeping an eye on the budget. High-tech housing hit us a little bit, but I think we're fine. Perks for high density doubles their sale. I think that will actually increase our tax revenue for free. Small business enthusiasts, I think we'll have increased upkeep, but that should be profitable. Oh, we're stagnating. We love to see it. Industrial space planning. Let's try that. We don't have that much industrial zoning, so it shouldn't affect us that much to click these buttons. High-rise ban, we definitely don't want. All right, workers' union reduces residential tax, but increases happiness. We like that. Boost connections. Outside connections to the area, 10,000 per week. Applies to boats, trains. We're gonna click this eventually, but not until we have an airport. But we would love to click that eventually. Let's look at our taxation. So let's raise some of these taxes. Raise tax, raise tax. And then let's let go of leisure. And then we'll pay attention to Chirpy. And then for services, we're gonna click recycling. Let's see, we're gonna do free public transport. We're doing fine. Park maintenance boost. Free Wi-Fi could be nice. For-profit education seems bad. I think our public license or our public libraries are not that big of our budget, so I think we can click that button. We would like a education boost, which I think will hit us. And now our profitability is dipping, but I think our profitability usually dips by night a little bit, and the fact that we're positive during the night is not scaring me. What are we talking about here? Taxation, we got to get rid of all these taxes. That's too much. It's making people crazy. And that might push us into the negative. We're just going to keep an eye on it for now. Deeply in the negative, you say? All right, let's get rid of that one as well. Education boost might be hitting us a little bit too hard, and I think recycling might be as well. And because we don't actually, no, we're setting like universal policies. So prefer parks. That's fine. That won't kill our budget. Recycle plastic? Oh, what's educational bin? No cost. I'll do that. Why not? For no cost? For sure. All right. Now we're clicking stuff. Now we're clicking. All right. We don't want to boost connections yet, but I'm really happy with the policies we set. And we do want to make another district over here. I want a much bigger brush. Are you having a water problem? May I just say, what the heck? How dare you? Looks like you don't have any of your... This is an industry area. I didn't want to draw an industry area. I wanted to draw... I just want to delete this industry area entirely. I wanted a residential area. My bad. All right, give me a residential zone. Oh yeah, baby. Now we're making a district. All right. And then let's develop residential here, here, and here is our next order of business. And that will help our city grow a little bit. And once we hit 60,000, we can start thinking about putting in an airport. I'm not sure where we're going to do that. We have a few places we could grow. I think this is a logical place, as is this. This is not bad, nor is that. We have lots of good options. I think this could be nice as well, or this. I'm not enthusiastic about this, I'll be honest with you. Not sure. Absolutely not sure. What are we whining about along this corridor? What sort of thing is this? Not enough educated workers. Okay. Well, first, let's get a public library, and then let's get another university going. Our existing universities might be strangling the growth of this university. So, like, if we shut down our universities all over town, I think it would help with this. But at this point, I'm like, I don't want to kill all those universities, but we might have to. That might be the play. What is this? We only want to see our universities. So here's our universities. Let's get rid of all of them. This is a big gambit. But if it pays off... All right, that's going to make people pissed off. It's going to cost a lot of money. We're We're gonna delete our universities from here too. If it pays off, I think our liberal arts college will start growing. So university availability, eligible versus capacity, that's fine because we actually have really low utilization. But let's look at this now. Oh, look at that. All the way up. You see, we just needed to get rid of like fucking all of these little universities. We might add them back later, but I have no regrets for now. Tram, interesting. A metro line would be super interesting, as would actually buses is probably like a really economical way to get people around the city. Inner city bus or terminal. Let's see. Bus station uses coaches for people travel to and from the city. Bus stations requires highway connection. Inner city bus station doesn't require inner city bus lines or stops. So inner city bus station, inner city bus terminal. Okay, so this requires a highway connection. Is that what you're saying? Where do I want to put this thing? This might be a thing that makes sense to put here somewhere. This might actually be a really good spot for it. And then let's put one more like down here. And then let's do 4-lane with bus. 6-lane with bus. All right, let's do some bus lanes. Because we're gonna bus up our city quite a bit here. We don't want to accidentally upgrade any of these 2 lanes into 4 lanes with buses, but we're perfectly happy to get all of our 4 lanes to be 4-lane with buses, for sure. All right. I'm not going to go through and upgrade all of our 4 lanes to 4 lanes with buses, but I am going to do a lot of them. Especially along our main 4-way roads in the city. Cannot upgrade. All right. Want to de-upgrade some of these. So it's not good to have 4 lanes right in these 2 spots. I think we accidentally upgraded 1 spot here. But we'll keep adding these bus lanes. It's making people very mad. But that's fine. We do need the buses. I think they're mad because they like the decorations better than the buses, which is understandable. But there's not much we can do for them. Go back, upgrade this one to a 2-lane. Okay, and then keep on hitting these along this route.
I don't think we need to do... Maybe we should do our internal connections. I was gonna say maybe we don't need to do them, but it might actually make sense. So like right here, these could be bus friendly, as well as these. Okay, and then we'll go back and upgrade some of these things that we accidentally hit. Is this supposed to be 4-lane along here? Ooh, we're still unrecognized, but we grew a lot, so that's nice. Space already occupied. All right, what do we got here? Firehouse. Relocate you. What are you? Elementary school. We're gonna relocate you slightly. What other things do we got? Briarwood resident. I think we can upgrade this now. Perfect. Why aren't you upgradable? Or are you... This was a bike one, so I think we want to maintain our bike route. Like on this east and west direction, or whatever this is. Didn't mean to upgrade those side streets, and I'll fix them right now. All right, that'll be nice. And now we actually need some buses. Biofuel bus depot sounds great. We'll put one here. One here. This isn't like a high traffic zone, so I'm okay with putting the biofuel bus station there. And now I think we're allowed to create bus lines. Not exactly sure how creating a bus line works. Lines overview. So we have buses. Can we just create a new line somehow? Do we have to click on a bus depot? Relocate building, open the budget panel, transport. Interesting. Still thinking about how to create lines. What are you? Transport hubs? Oh, interesting. Ferry stop? Oh, these are complex. Bus depot. All right, biofuel. Bus station. Do we need a bus station? We might. A depot, I think, is where the buses live, and I think the station is where buses, like, originate. So maybe we'll put a bus station here. And now we might be able to place bus lines. Still very confused on the creation of lines. For sure. We have a lot of train station types that could be very, very interesting. Is there... I feel like I'm so close, but I'm just not getting it. Let's look here. So this is transport, outside connections, fire safety, pollution, resources, districts, leisure. Traffic routes. Wind. All right, this might be a question for Google because I'm just not figuring it out, but I think there's a number of sort of transportation things that we need to tackle soon, so I don't mind finding locations for these things, and then next episode it might be a good time to like figure out what we want to do with all of our different things, because we could put like a monorail station in a couple of spots and then start thinking about getting a monorail loop around town. I think that would be really fun. We have some air, but not a I think we need 60,000 for an airport. You see, this is what I'm looking for the buses, but I'm not seeing that. Miscellaneous? Oh, bus line. Hell yeah. All right. Let's start a bus line at our station, and then let's do this one. Can just be a little go to the university. Stop right there. And then it will loop here. Get this loop in. We'll add a stop here. Go up here. I don't mind a stop there. I'm thinking this is just going to be a little loop around this section of the city. For the purposes of all right, now we're gonna go the other way. All right, oh wait, did we get rid of a line? Yeah. I think we can complete line. Perfect, and now we want a line going the other way in the same area. So with approximately the same stops as our other lines. So where are those? We're just looking for our little nodes. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the symmetry will help us slightly. I want you more here. Get a second one here. Get one here. Go back to the university. That will help, and then we'll complete our line. All right, so we have one bus line going, and that sort of just is doing this loop around this part of the city, which mostly services the university, and we're just connecting high-density housing to the university system, kind of. But it would also be good to have... You know what? This episode's getting pretty long already, but basically my outline for transportation that I want to suggest is we're going to have a loop going here to connect these kind of city grid, or this city services block and industrial area to this block. And then we're going to have a bus route connecting this all around here to this block. And then we're going to have a route connecting all along this shore, and then also some sort of intershore system of transport, as well as expanding our blimp network. And when we hit 60,000 residents, we're going to be putting in an airport, maybe back here, maybe over here. We'll figure it out. We might need to get new land. We might... we have a lot of options though. So, for now, let me know what you're thinking about the city, what you would like to see. If you'd like to name anything, I'm still absolutely open. If you're seeing something that's just like mega cringe and you want me to change it because it's like making your eyeballs bleed, or it's just so stupid, or I'm misunderstanding a mechanic of the game, please let me know. I love to learn things about the game that I am playing. It won't offend me at all. And as always, hit the like button, hit subscribe. I love you, and goodbye.